So it actually has related to the following question that what we see is that people are starting to wonder, isn't AI gonna take my job? Okay, so thank you for inviting me to give a little bit more of an overview on what I've been working on in the last few years when it comes down to understanding the introduction of algorithms, artificial enabled technologies and platforms in the business context. Well, the reason why is a new hero has arrived in our society. And that hero we call artificial intelligence. Because AI seems to be able to do many, many things that humans can do as well. So just to give a brief definition of AI, the way I look at it, very simple, so that we can work with it, is that AI, in my view, is machines acting in ways that seems intelligent. PwC calculated that by 2030, the global economy should benefit by approximately 15.7 trillion US dollars. In my own center, we saw that when we did a survey in the Asia region, that about 96% of companies already adopted AI in one way or another. AI is not only a tool today, AI is also an advisor. And I think this guy here, and most of you will probably know him, Lee Sedol, the South Korean world champion in the Chinese board game Go, he was defeated by AI in 2016. AI beat the world champion. He actually went so far that he is a representation, in my view, that humans may submit to machine at one point, because at the end of 2019, he retired from the game, saying, this is the end for humans. So I just want to show you a slide now, how innovation usually works when we start using innovation and how it transfers the way we run our organization. So if it's true that we're going to be submitting more and more to machine, our dependence increases on AI, our mindsets will change. So robots, algorithms enter in the decision-making phase. And in this case, it may be, if we have algorithmic decision-making across every layer, it may be this, yes, AI may become our new boss. And I decided to write a book on it called Leadership by Algorithm, Who Leads and Who Follows in the AI Era. Maybe it may go wrong. And they said, no, science and technology will always be there. I have complete faith in this. So I started thinking, and when I was writing this book, it came back to me, and I thought like, oh, well, actually these guys, they were very dependent on technology. They were willing to be dependent on technology in order to be successful themselves. But they still thought they were in charge. But of course, we have this kind of technology now that you can become dependent on it. And maybe today, our senior leaders, our executives are not that confident anymore. So when I teach for executives, I always have senior leaders coming up to me saying, but professor, why do I invest in learning soft skills? Why do I still take care of certain things that I feel automation can do? Plus, I'm actually afraid of my job as well. The ones in charge are afraid of my job. Shouldn't I become a coder? Usually when someone's close to 50, yes, you can, as a hobby, you can try to understand, at least that you understand where you make decisions. But becoming a full-time coder, changing your profession at that point, it's not a smart idea, because all the experience you've had in pursuing strategies, creating value, having a business plan are still needed to make sure AI is the appropriate position within the company. So in a way, we're putting ourselves in a follower role. So in a way, AI seems to have, or AI-enabled technologies moving into decision-making roles will have that appeal. And the business model of tomorrow may be this, where we follow an AI, it ultimately will lead because of the requirements that we need in terms of the situations that we face. AI is also being appointed in the board of directors, or when it comes down to compliance, governance. AI will become part of that, will become almost like an autonomous decision maker. They have a warehouse tracking system where algorithms keep track of what you're doing, directing you, trying to motivate you to work harder, because based on your statistics, you're doing well, you're not doing well. But what is important here is they also have received discretion to fire you. So without any human involvement. So they're the decision maker. They're literally leading these teams at the warehouse tracking systems. And what is interesting is that during COVID-19, certain startups who've been working on that, on robots, on algorithms who can be used for supervising tasks, the demand for that has increased by a factor 4. So machine learning methods, they excel in imitating the real world, but they often lack the real understanding of that world, what it means especially to humans, because if you're going to lead, you need to know that you can make decisions that are meaningful and will have an impact on the world, the ones you're leading. So does this mean that although it seems to have all the assets to run your organization, AI is limited in certain ways? We need to understand the purpose, and everyone needs to do this, because else we get lost in the data that's out there, and we may put the wrong data in our models, and it's not going to serve our companies. So the main conclusions, and then I want to answer some questions, is from my book is the 3 key messages that I really want to get across is that, first of all, when we look at leadership, it's a human activity and it will remain one.